Hello! Welcome to Rolling Escapades Season 2, Episode 19, Part 1, the series in which 9 dudes get together, play Dungeons and Dragons, have fun, and put it on the internet. We have all 9 dudes.
The dudes are here!
Everyone has returned.
Where are the sunglasses?
As I say, give me a pair of sunglasses.
And where's the rug now?
Nighttime investigations lead to Derek almost being taken prisoner and Hydra Rovers being killed. Our sponsor is Destai, fine makers of chainmail and macrame goodness. There will be a link in the description for you to go browse the wares. Chainmail, you get things such as dice bags and key rings, things like that. Macrame is various forms of accessories. You'll also find links to the artist, Christopher Rolls, where you can get commissions from his Facebook page or buy his DM's Guild products such as Izzy's slightly used airships. Last time, Errant Guard continued their investigation into the missing halfling Rios and the other missing townsfolk of Shroudwind. With Icarus rejoining the party and filled in on what's going on, you came up with a plan to use Derek as bait to see if you can catch whoever is taking people.
I listen to a lot of Drake's plans. That.
There are only fucking 4 of us here.
Derek disguised himself as an older halfling and removed his weapons and armor, giving them to Throndrake, and made his way across town from Asmodeus Temptation to the residence of the halfling family.
The big toes.
Yep. With Shade, Icarus, and Throndrake tailing him in the shadows behind. The plan worked spectacularly in that you encountered a man that was taking people, but you had not thought of what was going to happen after the bait was caught. As Derek was wandering through, a man approached him and said some words to him, and Derek felt compelled to listen to what the man said to do.
He was my best friend.
He was. And they started walking off in a different direction to the Big Toe residence. The man asked Derek a couple of questions, eventually discovered that he had friends who were following him and told him to wait. And the 3 following caught up, were a little confused, and then carried on following in attempts to catch up with the man in front of them.
After abusing him slightly.
After abusing Derek slightly, he got punched in the face.
Yeah, I might punch them.
Yeah.
This is his turn.
It's the only hit points I lost last week.
Yeah. It did end the charm effect, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I do that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam, with mine, you just used a couple of 3rd level spells, second level.
Yeah.
I didn't actually lose any hit points.
So you didn't get hit.
Excellent.
Yep. You guys are all good. Everything on.
Did I have armor up?
Mage armor, yes.
Yep.
Excellent.
I cast it. I just didn't. I don't think I actually applied the AC bonus, but you cast it.
Alright, cool.
So the man went around a corner, and his footsteps just vanished. You guys, the 3 shadows followed and waited there for an hour to see if it was an invisibility spell. It was not. he just bounced the fuck out. Whilst Derek continued on to the Big Toe residence. There, he eventually convinced Ossiman to open the door. It was a bit of a struggle. But it was revealed that Ossiman was beaten and bruised. He had a broken arm, covered in cuts and bruises. He explained that when him and his wife Verly had discovered that their son had gone missing, they started asking around. They went to see the blood bandits. They spoke to a guard called Dawson that was on the gate, who said they hadn't seen their son leave, and then they went to speak to a guy called Dorn of the Hydra Rovers, who told them to stop asking questions and beat the shit out of Ossiman. With a description, Derek realised that the person, one of the people waiting outside and keeping an eye on the Big Toe residence, was Dorn. In that group of 5 Hydra Rovers, they were just watching. On with the new information, Derek made his way back to Asmodeus Temptation, arriving around the same time as the Shadows did. and you guys made a plan that because you had very few leads, you were going to go talk to the Hydra Rovers and extract information.
Talk's a bit strong, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
Negotiate.
Can I go yet? Can I go yet?
We'll start with this pinky.
yes. You eventually came to blows, during which time you discovered that Dorn, or specifically Shamshir discovered that Dorn was more than he seemed, as he had resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and non-magical attacks.
How did you? Oh, do you have one of your things that you know?
It's got ability, yeah.
Excellent.
Dorn also fired 2 rays of fire from his finger at Shade without casting a spell. He just launched them. But you did knock him unconscious and you killed the 4 dwarves that were with him, and that is where we ended. So, you are currently standing in an alleyway. There are bunches of residential shacks around you. The Big Toe residence is relatively close. That is where they were keeping an eye on. You have 4 dwarf corpses and an unconscious human.
How far from the water are we?
You are the other side of the city.
But I'm still
Excellent.
grappling him.
You are still grappling him, yeah. I mean, you can tie him up if you want. He's unconscious.
Bag of holding? Anyone? Anyone?
Put the dwarves in the bag of holding. Yeah.
Walk to the water and toss them out.
What armor were the dwarves wearing?
How much space do we have in that?
They were
You can
wearing
go further afield. You can go out the city, then just drop them in a ditch.
No, but if they go in the water, no one cares.
leather, I believe.
Or like the
That's
water's
like
the same
we
time.
legitimately
the
got
guards
told.
are- the guards are like, well, it's not technically the city.
Can I search the dwarves?
Yeah.
Search the dwarves? Sure. What are you looking for?
Valuables and any possible parchments with instructions and stuff.
They are wearing leather armor. Sure, make an investigation check.
I'm a like search Dorn.
Fuck.
Cool. Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
I'll help him put the dwarves in the bag.
Yeah, assuming
Sure.
that's
Wow.
like okay with you.
Yeah, you can do
16.
that. You can put the bags in the dwarves in the bag, not the bags in
Yeah,
the dwarves.
that's a totally different thing.
That's
Shing.
16. You don't find anything. They're not hiding anything on their systems. It's very strange the lack of gold and currency they have on them.
And no parchment papers or anything like that.
Nope.
I think we shouldn't be doing
I
this
would
in the
then go and
street.
help him
We should
search.
take this Dorn
3.
to
Unless he's
Should I
helping
hold
me.
it?
I assume you're searching. You're searching at the
Yeah.
same time. Yours is going to take longer. You're searching
Yeah.
4 bodies.
I basically just go.
Yeah. You do a pat down, but you sort of just like, nothing there.
I imagine you go, no, nothing on this one, chuck it away, and he catches it in the bag.
No, he's doing.
I'm holding Dorn. And
Oh,
now he's
right.
just over my shoulder.
Just
Are
like,
we-
no,
are
there's
we- are we
nothing
doing
in
weights
his
in the
back
bag,
pocket.
or-
Nice ass.
No, I don't.
Okay, good.
It's fine. Cool. So the dwarves are in the bag.
And then when I finish that, I search.
Please don't turn
Nico
into an
as
arse
well.
puppet.
I literally saw him going.
Should we try and take him
24.
Nothing on him.
inside?
Yes, I think we
I
should
rolled a
go to
natural
the
20. I
Big
was
Toe-
hoping.
Big
No
Toe
currency,
residence,
nothing.
Or
I think
back
so.
to
No,
Asmodeus.
we need to keep them out of this. We need to go somewhere else.
Yes,
Where?
Now.
They're already being watched by these people, though.
Not anymore. They're dead.
No, these were the ones watching them there. We killed them.
And so, what do you think the people that send these people to watch that particular group are going to think when they turn up dead?
It was.
They won't turn up. That's kind of
Well,
what we're
well,
about to do.
It was
If you
Dorn
send
who
people
sent
to
it.
watch
It's fair-
someone
it's
and
fair
they
to say
don't
that
come
there's a
back,
fair
you
amount
don't
of, like,
think
blood
they're
on the
just on
ground.
holiday.
That's a fair amount of blood on the ground. Yeah.
This is a dangerous city.
I'd like to use the blood to write
Oh,
"Blood bandits rule, Hydra's drool" on the wall.
Hmm?
Cool.
Die hard.
Gang
enthusiasts.
war!
Cool. Good to know.
I nod approvingly.
That'd certainly do a job.
How far back to Asmodeus's temptation?
An hour.
About an hour.
I don't
Just
think
like-
we can carry him there.
I think
We
the
use got
best.
prestidigitation. Because I'm literally red-handed right now.
I
No.
don't think I do, actually.
Okay.
I think I got Thorns.
That's definitely not what we want.
Unless one
Nope.
of us can magic up a personal space to do this out of the eye of the public and guards,
No.
we should take them to the Big Toe residence.
His son can.
Yeah, but he's not
He's
here.
not here.
He's even more
Why did
than
we even
an
bring
hour
you? We
away.
should have brought your son.
I have the bag.
How far away
Dad
are we
could be
from the
taken
gate?
off you.
From the gate.
Yeah.
We need to move now.
Like
There-
30 minutes or
There
so.
are
Yeah.
guards on the gate.
Let's take
Why
them
don't we
to the
put
Big
him
Toe
in the
residence.
bag as well?
He'll
I mean, you want
die.
to talk to him, don't you?
Leave the bag open.
Then he won't be.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Yes. Alright, shove
That's
him in
not
there.
how
with
it
the bag on.
works. Okay.
Is that how it works?
Oh, yeah, because it has air for 10 minutes of breathing, and if it's open, it refills over 10 minutes. So if there's one creature inside, you leave the bag
That
open.
doesn't solve our problems, though. It just gives us 10 minutes with which to get to
No,
somewhere that
we've
we
got
haven't
an hour.
decided.
The 10 minutes refresh as long as you leave the bag open.
Let's go to Mad Jack's boat.
Yeah. That's it.
So it won't just
Hey,
be
that's
walking on
actually
with
very
his
cool.
head popping out. Okay.
Do we know which one's his boat yet?
I mean, what I do know
Look for the insane one. I don't know.
is that usually
Look
if
for
someone's
one-
drunk,
Look for the upside down
You have
fucking
people
boat in
carrying
the fucking
him.
harbour. I don't know.
so I put one arm over the ship.
I mean, yeah, I can help
we
make
end
it
up
look like
burning
supporting
him
our
back
like
to the
drunk
pub.
friend.
Oh,
He's
yes,
also very
yes.
beaten and bruised.
Does,
so
does
it's like-
anyone have
So
any
it's a
wine
lo-
in
it's a
their
lawless town.
flask?
It's true.
I have the 2 disguise kits from the orcs.
Let's
Anyone got any
disguise him as
wine? Yeah, spirits, anything at all? Just
I'm
chuck
looking
some
at
on
Derek
there.
when
Turn
he's
to
saying it.
par, like,
No, I drink
who
tea
has
for a
wine?
drink.
Par.
Tea. Shit.
Is
Is
that
he wearing a
alcoholic?
uniform?
It's not alcoholic.
Alright.
No, my current
the
keg
Dorn.
won't shine.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
offline.
they all have like emblem of the Hydra Rovers on them.
I'm gonna turn his like tunic inside out,
Yeah, cool.
get some mud off the floor, and just sort of muddy him up a little bit so
Yep.
it doesn't look so clean.
They're all Hydra
Cool.
Rovers dwarves.
Can we move?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
same
is a
now
human.
move.
This dude's a human.
This dude's
Just
human.
do
Yeah.
human.
Okay.
No.
And he has one of the emblems displayed clearly as well.
Hmm?
He has a
That's why-
Hydra
that's why I
Rover.
turned his
Yeah, he
tunic
has a
inside
Hydra
out.
Rover.
Okay,
my
cool.
arse, he hissed at us.
Yeah.
He's a fucking snake thing. We haven't seen
Um,
it yet.
Yeah, so are you helping carry?
Yeah, I'll help
Yeah.
carry him.
Cool.
Not that you're already taking anything away, I'm just like.
Well,
Retroactively, I apparently have some rope on me, so we could tie him up as well.
oh, we don't need
No,
to
we don't want to do that. We're making it. We're making it like we're carrying on drunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It could have been a real wild one. You never know.
He's angry drunk.
Temperamental camera is temperamental.
Are we walking back to in the
Yes,
direction
yes,
of the
yes,
docks?
yes.
Thank fuck. Okay.
Cool. So you're going to the docks.
We're going to the
So
docks.
we're just leaving the door
We've
bodies
got,
there.
we've got,
Oh,
three,
they're taking
we've got
them
three
over.
potential
From the back.
destinations. They're all the docks. We go to Peg's place. We go to the brothel. We go to the ship. They're all in the fucking
Go to
docks.
the
That's-
ship.
that's-
How
fair
far away
point.
is the dock?
Okay.
They're an hour away.
Cool.
So we got an hour to work out which of the
Sure,
three
let's
we're
just
going
use the
to.
bag in a way that it could potentially be used.
But I don't think we should go to the Hydra Rovers hideout. That's
No.
the only other place we go.
I don't think
or,
I-
or the pits.
I don't think we should go to Pegs either.
No.
I think the last place I'd expect us to go is the Hydra Rovers hideout.
You guys don't know where the Hydra Rovers
Yes,
hideout
but because
is.
it's stupid, you get that, right?
They're awesome.
because they'll see that we've killed four of theirs and captured Dorn, and they'll shank us to death.
You're not hushed this time. You are not
I'm
hushed.
just saying.
You
there's
are
the
not
last place.
hushed.
He's always hush at heart.
Yeah.
So
You
you're
know
going back.
play hush.
You're going back to the docks. You'll decide
Have
on a
experience hiding
destination
bodies.
As we near
Well,
as you get closer. Yeah, that's
We've
fine.
both got experience hiding bodies.
Because
If
you
we
might
get
not
there. Yeah.
decide when you get there.
Hmm.
Because after you've got about 30 minutes or so,
Here we go.
Yeah.
who's carrying Dawn?
I mean,
Still-
I am.
Cool.
Well, do you think you are?
Punch him in the face.
You two notice out the corner of your eyes movement
From Dawn.
from Dawn, and as you turn to look, you watch as the human-like face disappears, and you watch two horns appear from his head. You watch his skin turn into red, and you watch a pair of leathery wings sprout from his back. It looks a bit like that.
No fucking shit. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's what you're currently. He also has a hat on.
Very, very
Nice.
important. The hat is
Is it
very
between
Who
the
gets hat?
horns?
Like,
Ah.
It's sort of nestled on top of the horns.
So where are we right now?
That's
Who else is around?
No one else is around at the moment. You guys have moved half an hour, so you're basically in the middle of the town.
I would like take
Put
the hat
him
off
in
of his
the
head,
bag.
Yeah.
put it onto like
Put him in the
I'll
bag.
put it onto the next person that's nearest to me that's not why not? I'll put it onto Throndrake's head, but then I'll take that like the wrap that I got from the silk trader many moons ago and wrap
Yeah.
it around his head
Sure.
to
Cool.
make him look less like a demon. And then maybe we need to
Wings?
wrap his wings.
I make a
does
point
have-
to saying put him in the bag.
He's still unconscious, right?
He'll die.
He's still
in the bag.
unconscious.
No, he won't.
How are you going to get wings? How wide does this bag open up?
Not that one.
Yeah, you're not going to get the wings in
Yeah.
through the bag.
Let's just wrap him up like a body bag. I don't know.
I think
Can I
at
make a
this
check to see if I know what he is, and can I check to see if I know what the hat is?
Sure. Make a if you want to know what he is, make a.
Wait, I'm wearing that.
You
hat.
can make a religion
Yeah.
or arcana check.
You're in that now.
I'll leave that up to
Wow.
you. Religion or arcana.
Do I feel different? Does the hat make me feel different?
Okay, Arcana, cool.
Not when you first put it on.
Okay,
You got to
cool.
shoot it.
When you first
I don't
put it
know.
on.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't know what it is.
10?
24.
24. Cool.
Oh yeah.
24, yeah.
24. Cool. So that's the.
That's what I rolled.
He is something called a Cambion.
Yeah.
He is
Why am I
a
so
fiend.
Half
shit?
human, half demon.
Yeah, it's a half demon. It's the offspring of
He has
a
pact, yeah.
fiend, usually a succubi or incubi, and a humanoid, usually a
Okay.
human. So
Is that
it is-
all I know?
they
That's all they
They're evil.
yeah, and they
Are
are
they,
evil
yeah,
creatures.
basically, are they generally evil or?
Yeah,
no,
they're
they're
evil
always
creatures.
evil.
They're fiends. They're evil creatures. For a fiend to be walking around inside the town on on the mortal plane is a terrifying concept.
To be honest, if someone sees us carrying him now, they
Now we have a problem.
they'd celebrate us as heroes. We've just dealt with a demon.
Was that what this is?
Or
It's
they
a
think we're
Cambion.
helping him.
A what?
A what?
Or
Half
a
demon.
fiend demon, yeah.
Half?
You'll have to fill me in later.
Evil,
Can we-
kill it.
That's what she said.
Can we wrap him up a bit? I think that's the most pressing thing right now.
One of their most common abilities is a charming ability. They have the ability to charm humanoids, and you have to follow their orders for 24 hours.
That
Do the
sounds
wings
familiar.
like? Are they literally sticking out, or do they like fold away like wings? I mean,
They can fall away like wings. They've just he's relaxed because he's unconscious, so his wings are just spread
Where's
open.
that?
So I mean, yeah, can we like?
time up.
Oh, tie.
Yeah, you can tie the wings
Tie 'em
down
up
if
like
you
a
want.
turkey.
Yeah.
He might snap a few things, but
Oh,
yeah.
Oh well.
Doesn't matter.
I
Cool.
then put a
Why
cloak
are we-
over him
why
so
are
it
we-
looks like his wings are so his wings are covered by it.
Now we
as
can get him in the bag.
It's the middle of the night. Why don't we just carry on going? We're
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
We just this is
Yeah.
taking
And
like
we
10
carry on
minutes
with
of
it.
tying him up and
Right.
sticking him in a bag, and
We
we
can
can
just
just.
tie him up and walk at the
What's
same time.
Arcana check on the hat? If anyone wants to try to identify the hat.
Okay. 12.
12,
20.
20. It's a hat disguise.
Ooh,
Nice.
I don't know that, do I?
No.
I do.
Yeah. Which is interesting that he has that because Cambions have the ability, but they have a limited ability to modify their form. But they can do alter self, but they can only do it 3 times a day.
So who currently has the hat?
I just put it
You
on.
put it on my head.
What hat and what hat is it?
It's a hat,
Baseball cap.
whatever.
Can do whatever
The
you
hat,
want
the
to do.
hat doesn't matter because the hat can change.
It's
I
got,
specifically
it's got
asked-
glasses and nose on it.
I actually asked, can I have the hat?
Why?
Because it's magical.
Don't I have all our money?
Can we talk
I like
about who
money.
gets the
Yeah.
hat when we're
I
somewhere
got-
safe?
Oh, that's nice.
There,
I was
there are
asking.
more pressing things right now.
Can we go and get rid
Walk
of the
towards,
demon?
walk towards the. Where are we going? We're going to the.
We're going to
Are we-
the
are we-
docks.
are we
So
going
now
to the-
where are you
Are we
going?
going to Asmodeus' Temptation or to the docks or?
Taking a
It's odd
fee
that
to
the
Asmodeus'
jack
temptation.
Jack ship. Cool.
Jack
No.
ship.
Peg.
No.
No,
Why
Jack.
Peg?
Definitely Jack.
Possibly Peg, because they're.
Peg. If we tell Peg what's going on, she won't take. We've attacked Hydra Rover. She won't take us in.
How does she know? Is he still wearing the same clothes, just in demon form now?
Good point.
They were turned inside out. So.
His clothes were turned
Yeah, are they
inside
the same now?
Yeah,
The
it's
disguise
like a
dropped.
disguise,
out. Yeah, they're the same clothes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
he
fact
just
that we
described
just
his form.
found a demon inside town. we should
That's going
probably
to
let
take
someone
some
who's in
explaining.
a modicum of authority
In
of the
fact,
town.
although the only thing that's changed is he was wearing leather armor or looked to be wearing leather armor, but as you guys are interacting with it, he's actually wearing splint mail.
Wouldn't I have noticed that?
Yeah, when you were carrying, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It was also when I attacked him with my staff,
It made a
clank.
metallic sound. Yeah.
Also, didn't you say that before we were chatting with them that the Hydra Rovers allow them to be in the city as such and wear their clothes?
That is something
Yes.
what he said. Yes, that is
There we
along the
go.
lines of what he said.
Them being a plural, which means there's probably another
Yes.
somewhere.
There's at least one more.
How many have said Jack ship? 2, I think, so far.
What if we took it to, if not Jack ship, somewhere quiet and out of the way at the waterside? I could still get Peg's attention, tell her of what's going on, and if she wants to get involved, then they can.
The risk is that if she doesn't want to get involved, she'll turn us in.
Just to point out, because you guys are aware, if you go properly up to the edge of the dock, it is guarded by the Kraken's daughters. That is where the ships are. That is the most heavily guarded section of the city. If you're going to go all the way up,
Shall I go ahead and ask if we can get a blind iron passage through the guards?
Have you ever heard of the phrase, don't push your luck?
Let's just take it to pegs. I'm sure they really want to see a demon.
I mean, I'm just gonna be basically watching Dorn, and if he stirs to wake up, I'm punch him in the face.
face, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was just like clocking.
So you're at the point where you're for all intents and purposes equidistance from the place you met Jack, the Asmodeus Temptation, and the place you met Peg.
Oh, then I meant Jack's. Fuck it.
Hmm?
Let's just take it to Jack's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, the madman will know what to do.
And at the very least, if he doesn't, no one will believe him.
He'll think the whole thing was just a
Good
soaken
point.
dream.
No, he'll tell the truth. Everyone else will think it's a something.
Yeah. To Jack's.
It's also 2:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be too many people around.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
But he'll probably still be awake.
So you make your way to where was it? Greasy Flute. That's where you go. That's where you
Greasy
last
Flute.
saw Jack. You make your way to the Greasy Flute. You you get there. You don't hear the Greasy Flute being played.
Cool.
But there is still firelight sort of loosely dancing through the windows. You make your way. Or, are you all going in?
I'm gonna wait till they've looked inside.
Yes, I think maybe you two just stay in the shadows for a minute until we work out.
I will also stay outside.
Cool. So who's
I'll go
going
in.
in? That's the thing that matters.
I'm keeping an eye out to make sure we're not being followed or anything.
Sure.
As this
Make
seems
a
like
perception, make a perception check right
seems
now,
a
because if
bit
you've been
late.
followed, you've been followed.
21, I
They've
think.
just found out where you're arriving, so.
Yeah. If I manage to spot them, if someone is following, I spot them. That's very. Okay.
There is
21.
An angry mob with
21.
pitchforks.
There is no one following you, as far as you can tell.
Yeah. Do you know what? Oh no, again, 21 is probably more difficult, so I'm just going to say I'm pleased I at least had that high.
Go. So, inside, hands raised, just so I know. Cool, so half of you go inside, the other half are just staying outside with Dorn. Cool. So you appear inside. There is the human barkeep who is sort of he's tidying up. He sort of looks up and is like, not doing orders anymore.
Is Jack around?
Jack is in the exact same seat,
Wow.
talking to the wall.
He really is mental.
I'm not in there.
No, I just go through everyone else.
How many other people are
He's not called Mad
That's it.
Jack because his parents called him Mad. You know that, right?
Yes.
Yes, nickname.
I know that.
Okay, cool.
I walk up to Captain Jack. Are you ready to sail?
Ah, yes. Well, I said I'd go whenever you're ready.
Well, shall we?
Wonderful.
Are you outside?
I've still got to fight the other next few days.
I think we forfeit the bets.
No, we could.
Oh, we're just back on the boat.
Maybe we should consult the rest of them first.
I'm making an executive decision.
To be fair, I don't actually think any bets have been put down on your fight yet.
no, only
No,
one
but he's
Tiny
lost his
Jensen's
entry
fee.
Yeah, he
fee.
lost his entrance fee.
Don't know.
Oh,
I
copy.
just lost the entrance fee. Wasn't
I
it?
paid for his one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Technically.
So, you guys, Jack
Yep.
just throws back whatever he's got, and again, sort of mostly throws it over his face, but gets some down in his gullet. Stands up, teeters, falls back down,
I grab him.
shakes his head, stands back up again, and then sort of like scurries to the door. He's not quite standing up straight. There's a lot of waving to him, and he's sort of moving sideways like this, all hunched up and moving over.
Do you want to give him a bit of a cleanse? Purify?
I get the feeling this is his natural state. I'm not sure he'll operate in any other fashion.
So he'll be less mad?
No, I think it'll be worse.
Yeah, he might come to his senses.
I wonder how many years that's been since.
I just.
I take it we ever hear him saying, "Are you ready to sail?" from outside.
Hmm?
Do we hear him
Very
saying,
good
"Are you ready to
hearing.
sail?" when we're
You get
outside?
exceptional hearing from outside.
Yeah, no.
Hmm.
But Jack's like properly in the far corner of the thing. You're by the doors. You're not going to hear anything being said inside.
First thing you see is a
Okay.
crazy man
Yeah.
standing out the door.
What you see is Jack come scuttling out through the doors. He said, "Ready to go? You've got a friend. I've got a friend. I've got a friend, Mama. A friend.
Come on. Shall we?
To the Howling Curse. This way."
Are we going to be able to get the guy through?
You can turn to normal language.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, Jackson. Yeah. Are we going to be able to get him through the guards on docks?
Oh no. One
He's just a drunk friend, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Anyone?
yes.
Everyone's just like, yes, Jack. Anyone got a spare
Oh.
cloak?
I already did a foot cloak on him.
Good.
earlier.
That'll do. No.
That was my tribute to keep him disguised after the wings were gone.
Then we'll just walk on in.
Yes,
Just
bog
walk
grass,
on
I
in.
guess.
Crew are already there. They prefer the ship.
Then after you then, Jack.
Wonderful, this way. He does his weird scuttly.
This is so going to be a goblin crew.
As long as he doesn't suddenly walk inland, then it's fine.
He makes his way towards the docks, doing his weird scuttle sideways walk, and heads up towards a pier where there is only one boat moored. It's a decent sized ship. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it, actually. It looks like it's a pretty good quality ship.
Number of masts.
It has 3 masts.
Yes, but what we're looking for is a lifeboat.
In these seas, it won't matter.
Does it look like a typical schooner?
It looks like a standard sailing ship. In fact, Icarus.
Yeah,
It
but
looks,
is Mad Jack walking towards it, or is he?
Yep, he's walking directly towards
Okay.
it. It looks, in terms of like size and shape and whatnot, it's very similar to Peg ship.
Okay, that's good. That's very good.
Yep.
What about the crew?
You don't see any crew on there. There are
It is 2 a.m.
2 female dwarves standing at the edge of the pier, but you do notice they're not as close as most people as they would normally stand to the docks. There is a sizable gap between them and the edge, and as Jack sort of scuttles up to them, they sort of look at him and just like, oh, all right, and just walk off. So you guys go on past. Jack
Can't buy
scuttles.
that sort of respect.
I was going to say, otherwise, I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to make sure I'm walking like between them and Cambion. So, evening. Nothing to see here.
This can only go well.
Jack
Yeah.
scuttles onto his ship, heads up to a bell and just starts ringing it like, "Here we go, lads, off we go." Ship sailing again.
This just reminds me of Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka on the high seas.
What's he talking about?
Well, I figured the only way we were gonna was we'd go on a trip.
Wait, how are we solving the problem here in this town by just sailing off?
We're not.
We have 10 days to interrogate.
If we find where Rios is, if he knows where Rios is, we find out where Rios is, but Rios dies tomorrow and we're at sea. How do we save Rios?
We could do this now on the boat, and then set sail as soon as we've
Will you not explain to Jack that we're not actually leaving right here, right now?
I didn't consider that. No.
Our objective is Rios. You know that, right? Remember Rios, missing guy. Person we're trying looking for. That's why we've got him.
Yes, that's a player fuck up. Don't blame me. I'm very tired.
So we delay setting off immediately. We wake up.
Well,
to
how
Okay.
long do you need to get seaworthy?
You are watching like a crew of about 30 people just coming up on the thing. They have responded very quickly. It is very rapid.
How many of them look insane?
None of them. They all look like normal. They're a mix of humans, halflings, dwarves. They all look like normal people.
Anything else?
As you guys are having this conversation, Derek, you hear in your head
Oh fuck. Yeah.
a voice say, "Go on the ship."
Whose voice is that? Do I recognise it?
You do not recognise the voice.
Which one of you did that? I mean, it was good. Fair play, that was good. But which one of you did that?
Did what?
What are we doing?
Excuse me?
Which one of you put a voice in my head?
Not fun to have a voice in your head. Go on the ship. You can do what you want there.
You feeling okay? You're looking a bit pale.
Jack, stop ringing the bell. There's
Mama?
been a mistake.
Who is this? Oh yes, you are Mama. Okay.
Sorry, what?
Oh, it's infectious.
Someone
Good to know.
Someone knocked him out again. The Cambions at work.
Should I punch him?
Do it.
No. I don't need punching from Drake. I'm fine. I'm just.
Does the ship feel
he said the
magical or
Cambion-
cursed at all?
Make an Arcana check. Are you guys getting on the ship, or are you just standing on the dock?
24.
As far as you can
I
tell,
thought
there's
I've
were
rolled
already
3
on the
20s
ship.
with that
no-
today.
As far as you can tell, there's no magic or curse on the ship.
You're looking.
Let's get on the boat.
Inside check.
Yeah, your sudden change of mind is a bit weird.
Fuck that die.
I sham shared it.
Make a persuasion check. I think this one is appropriate for this one.
20.
Sure.
Yeah,
22.
22. Derek, for whatever reason, has just changed his mind and thinks getting on the ship is a really good idea. But he
Looks
seems
okay,
to.
right?
Yeah, he looks.
Yeah,
It's,
so-
it's not like something's affected his mind. He just something has now convinced him that it's a good idea.
Well,
It's convinced me it's even worse of an idea. If like mysterious voices in his head saying like, "Go on the ship, kill all the people,
But we don't know that.
eat the bodies."
were you
Like, just
talking
turning
like
up
in
his
your head or out loud there?
Out loud.
Yeah.
Rather quick change of mind. You were really urgent to help these people.
You guys find out what the Cambion knows. I'm gonna go talk with Mama.
You lost your mind.
You know what? Let's.
You, Shade, you say, "Have you lost your mind?" You hear inside your head, "No."
I'm not going to react to that.
I mean, possibly, but I think it was back when I agreed to join this stupid outfit.
You're adamant we must get on.
It is a better idea.
We both hear that.
Just
Or
you.
just me?
Just gonna talk to one person at a time.
Yep. Yes, you can.
Yeah, but let's not sail. But let's get on the boat.
I'll put him somewhere.
Look safe.
Middle of
You
the
saying that to Jack?
Jack.
Maybe.
Yeah, he sort of just he just points at the side.
Have you got the brig?
No,
Well, that's helpful.
we can tie him up to the mast.
I was about to say time to the mast.
Let's stick him on the front of the boat. Leave him ready.
We can't
All
talk
right,
to him.
I
about
grab
Yes,
the
that.
rope
let's
and
keel
start
haul
tying
him
him
while
to
we're
the
at
mast.
it.
Tie him to the mast. Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we do that afterwards.
What about the anchor?
That's kind of key.
Is he tied the right way up or upside down?
We're not rolling the boat.
I think we should keep him away from the crew. He can command people with his voice,
Put the gag in his mouth.
About to say
but
that.
we have to interrogate him.
How many people can he control at once?
One.
He's currently
Ah.
unconscious
So
and
we just
they're busy.
systematically knock the crew out.
Just
We have Throndrake on anti-chum.
just because
Sure.
of
There you go, well.
Age's role earlier, there is no limit to the amount a Cambion can control. It's just down to whether or not you pass the save.
Okay.
Oh,
So you can systematically work his way through the crew
Do we know how
Yeah.
many times you can
Wisdom
use this
save.
ability, or is it just at will?
at will. You do it at will. Just
Oh, no.
if it doesn't take a hold, you're immune to the
tried
effect
it on
from
both
that
of us.
particular Cambion for 24
Yes,
hours.
it's just
Okay.
Well, I'm all good then.
Yeah, you're good from this guy. Yeah.
Well, we keep him unconscious for now. Once the crew is set, get them to go below deck, allow him to wake up, and then hopefully he doesn't charm the whole lot of us.
I mean, he tried to get in my head.
Oh, well then you're okay then.
I mean, the crew are already set and kind of looking at us awkwardly now. The boat's been ready whilst we've had this conversation for probably
It-
about
it-
2
yeah.
minutes now.
It takes more than 2 minutes to set a boat.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Not a magic boat.
I mean,
Mm.
we've Two people have been having conversations to themselves, as far as I can tell.
What?
Well,
Shamshir, you're in your
I've
head.
not been talking. I chose not to react to it. I've just been talking to him, but I've accepted that
That's a good
I've
point.
agreed with him.
Yeah.
Point.
Shamshir,
Yeah.
you hear in your head, not with themselves, with me.
Oh shit.
And look
The
ahead.
stupid's caught on.
Get on the boat. We can come back.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, good. Now you're talking.
Who are
to
you
yourself.
talking to?
Oh, is she talking to you? It's Mama.
I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
The thing that
she's
Jack
been
talks
talking
to
to me.
is she's
too.
talking to us. Some of us.
I've heard it too.
Brilliant. On the boat. Let's go.
What about
This seems like I'm given worse.
Rios?
We're just gonna sail out a little bit away from the dock, from the town, and then we'll come back.
Alright.
Interrogate him, then throw him overboard.
That's the point. We don't necessarily have to leave.
How do we know they'll come back?
Let's just go for a pleasure cruise
Then-
with Jack and
Well,
the
yeah.
boys.
Yes.
Because they do what we tell them, because we've hired them. We're the bosses.
You do hear inside your head, Throndrake, Jack will come back when you want him to.
Punch the Cambion.
I think he's already unconscious. I don't think you need to do
Cool.
that
You're not
again.
trying to kill him, so you just deck him.
He just got a broken nose now.
Was he waking up?
I think I saw a
Do you see
flinch.
him move? Okay.
I'm just doing this.
Oh, what's the weather like currently?
Anchors
Drizzling.
away, Jack.
Oh, it's
Let's-
drizzling, okay.
Yo,
Let's
you
get
guys on the boat.
yeah.
You tie the Cambion to the mast, and Jack and his crew set off. Yeah, weigh anchor.
I'd like to make sure the Campion's blindfolded,
Way anchor.
so it can't see us. I don't know if that would make any difference.
Sure, you can blindfold it. Yeah. Jack heads to the. It's not wheel. I forgot.
Helm.
Helm. That's the word. I was saying. I've forgotten the actual word.
Ship's wheel, technically, and the helm.
The turning
deck.
circle.
Exactly.
That's how far it
I'm sure the poop deck has an entirely different meaning on the ship.
It quite literally is a poop deck.
It's Cambion Seagull shit.
And he starts
We're in Big Mama's house.
moving the ship out, cackling to himself,
Oh my god.
and enjoying being on a ship. He heads out, maybe like an hour or so out. So you leave the
Harbour.
you leave the harbour bay and make your way out onto the actual ocean.
I help this by directing the wind to push into the sails.
Cool. There's not much wind.
That's why it's all going towards the sails.
Cool. Most of it is just the oarsmen are rowing you guys out. The sails are not moving very far. In fact, actually, the sails, because there is no wind, the sails were never lowered
Okay.
because there's not enough wind to move the boat.
Alright.
I go, do you need more people on the oars?
No, Throndrake, we need you here.
Cool.
Did we see any of the crew?
You saw them, yeah,
What
yeah,
do
yeah.
they look like? You said they're just
Just
humans,
humans,
elves,
dwarves.
or dwarves,
Yeah,
whatever.
just human. Most of
They
them.
look
There
normal.
weren't any elves,
General
Elves, okay.
people.
but yeah, they were just humans,
Nothing
dwarves,
odd about
halflings.
them?
Huh?
Nothing look odd about them.
No, they
Yeah,
were
they're on
normal.
Jack's ship. Yeah,
Aside from that, yeah.
it's pretty fucking
Yeah,
weird.
apart from that. We're on it too, but hey, you know,
I never said we weren't weird.
Yeah.
that's true.
We're dragging a fucking demon round.
So Jack
Punching in the
gets
face
you.
like lift up.
Jack gets you out about an hour, and then he drops anchor. You don't have to tell him anything, he just drops anchor. Then you watch him let go of what's the actual thing called?
Ship's wheel.
The wheel.
It is a wheel. Okay,
Mhm.
I just thought it had another name. Cool, let's go with the wheel. And you watch him sort of stand up, stretch himself out, and walks down to you and goes, "Right, so
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
let's do this properly.
Well, you're quite the actor.
My name is Jarlesk Arkur Cefrey Kulenov. Jack.
What? One more time.
So we still call you Jack,
We're
yes?
feeling-
Jarlesk Arkur Cefrey Kulenov.
So we still call you Jack,
Jesus,
yes?
slow
I'll
it,
take
dude.
that later on.
You can call me Jarlesk or Jack on the boat.
Good.
Whilst we're at sea.
Yeah,
Inside
can
the
we
town
Jarlesk,
Jack.
Well, can we have that twice again?
Yeah,
That's
I need
like
that.
the
I've
third
got
in
Jarlesk.
place.
What's the
Get it
second
right
word?
Jarlesk Arkur
Yep.
Cefrey
Yep.
Kulenov.
Jerry Arthur Charles Carey. That's his name now.
JASC, yeah.
Oh, J-A-C-K.
J-A-C-K.
Jack.
Jack.
Okay, that's what slightly different.
A pleasure, I'm sure.
I apologise for the ruse. It makes it easier to move around the town.
I imagine it does.
Also makes it easier to talk to Mama if people just think I'm crazy.
Again,
I did until she spoke to me. Yes.
Oh, yes. Well,
Who is...
she is a blood spectre.
What now? That doesn't
What do I
sound
know
fun.
about Blood Spectre?
Blood spectres, you know nothing. Shade, Derek, and Icarus, you guys can make
Oh, good.
make religion checks.
On religion.
Actually, and Eldoran.
13.
7.
Cool.
Oh, no, 15.
15.
18.
Oh, you did it
Okay.
finally.
Yeah, change fucking dice.
So, a blood spectre is a variation on a spectre. Spectres are normally visible blue creatures that drain your life essence. A blood spectre, similar, except they are invisible. Apart from when they are draining your literal blood. It's not just life essence, they drain you of your blood. They are normally overly hostile creatures. They hate living creatures just like a normal spectre does.
But
This one apparently doesn't. They are only visible after and during feeding, when you can see the blood they are sucking out, feel systems flowing through their form.
well, we haven't seen it, so that's good. But
Yes. Which, as you're talking, Jack pulls out a knife and cuts his finger, and you watch the blood siphon out of his finger to a creature about 5 feet. It's about 5 feet away from him. It doesn't really have a form. It's a very shapeless form, apart from like these deep red glowing eyes. It's not like near his cut either. It is just the eyes are floating up. It's going to where a mouth would be on a normal person.
I mean, I kind of readied my axe a little bit.
Yeah. This is Mama. I found her when did I find her? A few years ago, I think. She's quite friendly. She just wanted companionship, someone to talk to, engage in conversation, travel the seas with, in exchange for feeding. Very strange, I know. It's not normal for a blood spectre, but hey ho, it makes for a nice companion. Very hard to explain to people in a town that the creature you are talking to that would normally attack them on sight isn't going to attack them on sight. So I figured it would be easier just to be insane.
Doesn't it limit
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Doesn't it limit
No
number-
offence, but I don't care because we've
That's
got this
fair.
to deal with. So can you go back to the wheelie thing and do your wheelie thing, and because we've got stuff to do with this.
Oh, I figured I would help you interrogate the person. I'm trying to work out why people have been going missing in the town.
He
that's
knows.
handy.
What's it to you?
Well, I've been able to work out that it's the Hydra Rovers, and I quite like the townsfolk. I don't like most of the captains, or the crews, but Peg's a nice one, and
Yeah,
I'm
we've heard that.
Very.
well.
Look at Icarus.
Just
Look
as a
back.
nudge.
We're indirectly, we are working together to find out who's causing disappearances. If we can pin it on the Hydra Rovers properly, the Kraken's daughters can move in with the support of the other crew and remove them.
So this is why we got the recommendation for you out of anyone in this town.
That and where
Yeah.
you're going is literally insane. No one else would would be paid that little money.
So,
So now that you're not insane, are you going to renegotiate? Is this what you're
Oh
going
no,
towards?
no, that's the agreement we made. Just
It's
if I
strangely
don't go
honourable
for
like
a
that.
lesser payment, then the ruse doesn't work.
So you have to sell yourself short and do things at a loss.
Basically,
How the hell do you stay in business?
with Peg's help.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I didn't know anything of this.
walk up to
I assume not.
Dorn
Yeah.
and be like, he says he's working with them, and I take off the wrap that you put round him,
Yeah.
which obviously reveals.
Yeah, reveals what he is. He looks down.
I removed the cloak as well,
So, cool.
so you can see wings and horns.
I
and
want to
red
make sure
skin.
he's still blindfolded though.
It's like 3 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Jack, I have a very important question. Where can I go on this boat to make myself some tea?
Strange question.
I'm assuming there's a galley.
Amongst all
There's
the
a-
strange things this
we do-
evening, I
we do
think
have
tea
a-
is the least.
Yes, we do have a kitchen. No, you can go ask Tarth. Tarth, Glory Bleeder, he is my cook. Awesome. Ask him for some heated water and make yourself some tea.
I'll see you guys in 10.
We'll scream if we need you.
Sure. Jarlesk walks up to the Cambion and sort of crouches down in front of him and is like looking at him, sort of tilts the head up and looks around like, very strange.
Have you ever come across any in the town before?
No, it's the first time I've seen this.
Who was it that said they knew what this thing was? Is it you?
It's a Cambion.
Yeah, do you
It's
want to
a half
explain?
demon.
Interesting.
Generally is a fiend, so not that you see many of them, to be honest.
I believe he said he wasn't the only one as well.
Yes.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yes.
Yes, beings from hell. Probably
Says the
should.
person with that for a pet, wherever that may be right now.
Pet?
I
Friend.
I believe
Friend.
companion is the.
Now, if you have a blood-sucking invisible creature around, it's best not to be rude.
Oh, it could be his wife.
Why don't
She's
we
mum.
plan what we're going to ask
doesn't
this
like us.
Cambion when we're all back together and had our tea refreshments?
Mm.
What do we actually need to know from this?
Where the other ones are, where they're operating from, where they've taken the people they've taken.
Why they want
Why?
the people they've taken.
And how are we going to get this information from?
We beat it out of him.
Beyond beatings.
If you know what this is, how'd the other one get away?
Plane shift.
Plane shift.
What's that?
It's a
You
spell.
shift between dimensions
yeah.
to different
Mm.
planes.
Fun tips of
Like
Shroud,
the
yeah.
Feywild, the
Oh, that
Yeah,
spell.
Any
any
the
of
planes.
the other planes,
He
material,
literally just
primordial
bumped- yeah.
plane, any of them, and jumped them.
That'll explain why we just suddenly lost track of them.
How do we interrogate him then?
Well, I can help a little with that, but there's no guarantee he's going to tell the truth. He
Well,
just might not speak.
yes, well, there's that. I have Zone of Truth, so he'd be unable to lie, but he could opt not to answer.
Exactly. I have that too.
Ah.
That's the hunters.
I was
Okay,
thinking
Jack.
possibly that.
How much alcohol do you have on this ship?
Not much.
Why? Where's all the rum gone?
Well, people work better if they're not off their faces drunk.
I'm not sure alcohol affects fiends
Yeah.
quite the same it does.
Didn't you say that they were immune to poison or resistant to it?
I'll get you there.
Yes, I might have.
No, it's-
Because you told us like their
Yeah,
strength
that would've been-
weaknesses
yes,
previously.
we-
That doesn't remember. It was fire and lightning and.
They are resistant to cold, fire, lightning, poison, and bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, and non-magical attacks.
I don't know
Really
if
difficult.
alcohol will affect
And
it.
weirdly, I could tell them these are Cambion now without knowing what a Cambion is.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Because yes.
Mechanics, y'all.
Look at the way his skin shines. He's definitely immune to fire and lightning and ice. And
Well,
disguise doesn't mean anything.
we have a few holy symbols. I'm not sure if they'll.
Fact even. Like,
Well, yes, somewhat. But I think possibly the threat of having one's blood removed from one's body whilst one is watching might
Someone's
Noise.
balls crushed by a hammer.
it's a demon. He might not care too much about procreating or even death.
Yes, maybe. Well, I imagine it's excruciating, and I sort of turn to look at Mama.
Look at the what?
To look at Mama.
Wherever she is.
Well, she's got
Yeah,
glowing
she
red eyes.
currently has blood flowing through her. You can see Mother.
Ah.
Yeah, you hear a voice in your head. I am not a fiend.
No, but
Would you like
But what I was suggesting is that you might remove some of his blood.
Possibly.
A new spicy meal.
All you can eat.
Yeah.
So, well,
Within reason.
depending on if he talks.
I can try.
Worth a go if we have nothing else.
So you think you can interrogate? I'm decent at persuading, but I'm not sure how I'd do an interrogation. Pa, would you have interrogated any prisoners while you were?
No, I tend to scare the shit out of them. Or
That
physically
could
hurt
help.
them until they tell me what they want, what I want to know.
Well, you could be useful in that.
Hence why I said balls crushed with a hammer.
Bad cop.
I think having a
We have a group.
I
full of
put the
bad
dread
cops.
helm on.
Good cop.
and possibly the paladin just because of the holiness.
Yeah, just stand there and be like, sausages.
What about in controlling people? He's already one of them already controlled Derek.
Do we have any spells to help boost protection against it?
No, we have Throndrake's fist.
I mean, I can protect one person from his charming effect, or remove it. But other than that, no.
Calm emotions removes charms effects.
I do have that.
Elves are good against that kind of thing.
Yeah,
aren't
We get
can save.
advantage on the save.
they? But still better than most.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have a rest because I'm really injured.
Yes.
So I'm not doing anything much. 'Cause
Oh, to be fair, you guys, it's taken you an hour to get here on the boat. If you wanted to have short rested, you could have short rested. Nothing interrupts you on the boat.
Do we have any bargaining chips with which to persuade, assuming that threatening doesn't work? And maybe we should open up with the persuasion.
If
Otherwise,
we
the
knew
threat
what
seemed kind of hollow.
if we knew what he was after and what they were here for, then maybe we could.
We can let him go without killing him.
Yes, I suppose that's yes, if he's worried about his own existence, then maybe that would be a good chip to throw into the pot.
We're at sea, aren't we?
I don't see why we'd have to
Yes.
Drown the fucker.
adhere to this
Oof.
as a safety.
Because I don't know wherever the hell he's from. I doubt there's water there.
But we're just going over the ways of like how to interrogate and beat the shit out of him. Like, what if again he doesn't care about having the shit taken
Yes,
out of him,
yes.
but his employers would do something worse to him?
It's better to have him not here at all, as in you can't talk to anyone then.
And well, I mean, after if we can't get anything from him, yes, I presume we will just kill the demon.
I don't think we have the carrot you were looking for.
To what? Kill someone?
God, he's
I've
going to
got
ask
10
us
minutes.
to
Why are
do
we talking about
something.
vegetables?
Carrots and sticks.
Oh, I see.
We have
Metaphorical carrot.
a forest of sticks, but very few carrots at this stage. If you get my drift.
I understand.
Does anyone speak infernal?
No.
In what now?
It's the language of fiends.
Oh.
I don't.
Hold up. Yes.
Yay!
Don't ask.
If only we had a walk. To be like, I'll get my patron to do something to you.
I can't promise I won't ask. But I won't ask now.
Maybe there are some strings we get the council to pull for us to help sweeten the deal. If maybe he needs something from Joffrey or needs
I would
to
rather
hitch a
not.
ride with us.
I would rather not let a Cambion go free.
Can I suggest that Shade, Throndrake, Pa, you guys plug your ears up so he can't talk to you, and then if you see us behaving oddly, you just attack him.
I
That's
thought
the
you said
plan.
I was
Sure.
immune.
He won't be affected by
Who's
the
actually
for like
taken
4
it?
hours.
Actually, I don't
Okay.
know.
Then you have to stop your ears.
Oh yeah, he failed on me as well. When we were fighting him, he tried that on me too, because I attacked him first.
Excellent. Okay, so we
And
stop
actually,
stop
if it
hard
does
doing
pass,
that.
if it does pass, that's fine. And also, I would have advantage on the save.
Alright, exposition, man.
No, I'm just saying.
The most I've heard you speak in like a month.
Shall
That
I-
was the thing, Karen.
Shall I get drawing the zone of truth, or shall you?
Well, if I need to do calm emotions, I can't do zone of truth as well.
So maybe you do the zone then.
I'm
After yourself.
going to ask Jack if he has any suggestions on interrogating them.
I have no idea how we'd go about interrogating a fiend.
Shouldn't we wake him up first?
Well, after
Let's
the
get
circle has
the
been drawn,
thing first.
It takes a short while.
and so yeah, I'm going to crack out the old fuzzy felt and pens and start making a magic circle on the floor.
Cool. We spend it's 10 minutes to cast Zone of Truth.
I think its duration is 10 minutes.
It's
so
an
it takes a
action.
little bit
Oh,
less
it's just an
than-
action. Cool.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy. Cool. You cast
Should we-
Zone of Truth.
Should we prepare a bucket of water above him so if he tries to say anything to charm him, we just let some water go and he just splashes instead?
Well, I think
Cool.
Throndrake's fist should shut him up. Quite
I like that
efficiently.
idea better.
He needs to make a charisma saving throw.
He does indeed need to make a charisma saving throw, and at the start of each turn he begins there, even if he passes it.
Not like the tavern building or anything, right?
His spell save is 14.
He gets an 18.
Bastard.
But you know he's failed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then in 15 seconds it'll ping again.
6.
In 6 seconds it'll ping again.
Shall I wake him?
By all means.
Wait, can he pass it when unconscious?
It doesn't say they have to
Yeah.
be conscious.
Yeah, he's a creature.
Still
At
gets
this
to
point,
save.
he's still a creature. So
Okay.
My thoughts are with
Until Throndrake
if they
sets it to
can
blend.
plane shift,
Yeah, he's a creature.
how do we prevent that?
Oh, it's not even concentration.
no, it just lasts for 10 minutes.
So I'm going to cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Liam, what do I know about the plane shift spell?
Make an Arcana check.
And I will ask the other guys what they know as well.
Absolutely nothing.
You need a fork.
No,
Oh yes, fork. That
I don't know.
You know
Jack.
everything about it.
I got
25.
17.
7.
You don't know.
None of us.
You're thinking about cutlery.
Better than 25?
25. 25. You do know. Yes. So I think you,
Oh, okay,
you
yeah.
don't know.
I would say that I
Yeah.
was asking as well, just to make sure we can
Yeah,
stop
so-
him from jumping
yeah.
away.
Plane shift normally is verbal, somatic, and requires a forked metal rod worth at least 250 gold to tune to a particular plane of existence. The last Cambion you followed didn't say any words,
Do anything.
didn't have anything, he just walked around the corner and disappeared. He may have used somatic components, you don't know.
I would also like to research the guy just because you said he was originally wearing leather and he was in splint mail after the disguise went.
I mean, yeah, you when you searched him, you'd have discovered that.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah,
Well, if I was wearing the hat for an hour,
you could have attuned to it.
does
if
that
you
mean I'm
wanted to.
attuned to it?
If you wish to attune to it.
Yes.
magic hats.
Oh,
Magic
I can
hats.
do that.
It's a hat of disguise. Also, the hat is in the shape of the Mad Hatter's hat from Alice in Wonderland.
Sure.
It's in whatever shape the
The tuny.
Oh, is it?
tuning. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you can change the form of the hat
Oh, that's quite cool.
because it's disguise self. So you can just constantly change the form of the hat.
A shapeless hat.
Right, are we ready?
Big fuzzy Russian one.
Cool.
Sure.
Fez.
It will take about a minute
I'm wearing fez.
before. Cool, you're wearing
bear
fez.
skin. Grenadier style.
Yeah, it takes about a minute before he fails that saving throw.
There you go, give him a point. Wakes up.
Cool.
Why are you
Spoon
kidnapping
digest.
people?
So he wakes up.
Good morning, Dorn.
Oh, we did that.
Hello.
That's good. One
You have
question.
allies.
Where's Rios?
Who's Rios? Oh, that's the halfling that the parents were looking for.
Yeah.
He is probably inside the shade of Necrosis.
What is the shade from across?
It's the forest to the north of the town.
Why are you kidnapping people?
Well, because we made a deal with the Hydra Rovers, and they made a deal with someone else.
Who's the someone else?
Someone who lives within the shade of Necrosis.
Do you
What's
know
their
who
name?
they are?
What's their name? I have no inclination to tell you.
What would
Are you
this
working
someone
for the
else
Hydra?
be?
Hmm?
What would this someone else be?
Not a Hydra Rover, and not something like me.
And something from our plane or yours?
Something from this plane.
How many Cambions are working alongside you?
Ooh, well, not alongside me. They work for me. There are, I think, 50 of us? Yeah, 50.
I think you just counted the crew.
Just a few.
Yes.
Is this where the Hydra Rovers leader gained so much strength from?
No. He made a deal with the thing in the forest. The thing
That's
in the
what I meant,
forest.
yes.
Why is he
Thing
answering
is-
our questions?
Why are you answering our questions
Magic.
so easily?
Oh, well, because you impressed me.
Can't
That's
sound
good. That means we don't have to
Line.
kneecap you.
Well,
Good
that
call.
wouldn't bother me anyway. This form is meaningless.
Or throw you over the ship.
Well, if I die here, I just go back to where I belong.
Yeah. That's not good.
You can't cause permanent damage to me.
That's not a challenge.
How long is it once the people go to the forest? Do they die, or what happens to them after?
They might die. Some of them probably die. Some of them might die, come back. I don't really know, don't really care.
Do you know if it would be a quick process or if it's something that's over a long time?
Guess it depends on how playful things feel.
What would it take to stop the Cambions working alongside the Hydra Rovers?
My command.
Yes. What's the cost?
Well, I have been looking for my heritage because it is interesting to me. And I have discovered that unfortunately Deadeyes is my father. And he knows my name, which is worrisome. So for now, I have to do what he says.
And you want to be freed of his control?
Yes.
I'm assuming that it's general knowledge that if a person knows a demon's name, they
Control the team.
they can do
I
whatever.
mean, yeah, you can make that assumption pretty
True
easily
name.
here. Yeah. So yeah. But I can tell you, you are not strong enough to deal with Deadeyes.
We had assumed that. That's why we didn't just go on.
Yes. But you might be able to make a deal with the thing or things in Shroud of Necrosis.
We need more information on what it is before we might.
Oh, I'm not giving you more information on that.
So how do you take the your captives to your employer, for lack of a better word?
Oh, I just use my abilities. I charm them, they follow me for 24 hours, follow my commands.
Would you just send them to walk there?
More or less, yes. I just tell them to walk. Well, first I take them with me to the Hydra Rovers, and then through some tunnels, and then we get outside the walls, and I tell them just to walk, and keep walking into the Shroud of Necrosis, and eventually something or someone might find
How
them.
do you choose people to take? Is it just random, or are you actually selecting people deliberately?
People that will be forgotten.
Yeah, people who won't be noticed.
Will you show us the tunnels?
I'm not sure I can get you inside the Hydra Rover place without you dying.
How about you show us the exit?
I could show you the exit, but not at... What time is it?
3 a.m.
Not at 3 a.m. in the morning. You'll be questioned quite heavily by the blood bandits as we make our way out. Also, I don't have my hat.
Well, that sounds like a real shame, doesn't it?
He's no longer attuned to it, is he?
Yeah. Yeah, because you've taken the attunement.
Why
So
do you need the hat?
Because it allows me to move through the town easier.
From my reading, Cambion have shapeshifting abilities.
That's
Yes.
just as a token of goodwill, give him his damn hat back.
It's limited in the amount of times I can do it, whereas with the hat I can do it as many times in a day as I wish.
He's scratching our back, scratch his back. Back? Is that how you people say it?
I'm searching for your heritage. Do you know who your mother is?
Some succubus somewhere. I grew
And
up
how
on
do you come to command 50 other Cambions?
I grew up on Avernus.
Oh, where now?
Oh,
Yeah,
The
maybe-
first layer of hell.
Yeah.
I learned to command and found ways to ensure others were in my service.
How did you get to the material plane?
Searching for my father.
How did you get here?
They
Well,
complain.
I complaint shift.
It's generally more difficult for most demons, but yeah.
I'm just gonna look at Jack and what do you think?
Jack's like, well, we know why things are disappearing.
Can you sail us to the woods? Or do you have to go back to harbour?
We'll have to go back into the harbour,
Okay.
unfortunately. And I would like to accompany you, but that will raise more questions because I never leave the town. Unless I'm on my ship.
That's
Um,
fine.
What if you were to use the hat in order to leave without anyone ever recognizing you?
And then how do I explain my ship being at dock and I'm not in the greasy fleet?
What do you think Peg would
we
make
put the
of
hat
these?
on one of your crew, they pretend to be you in the pub and you come with us.
Yes,
But then we can't get him out.
Put him in the bag.
but we needed the hat to be
Leave
on
the
him
bag
so
open.
he can leave.
I can disguise him.
Where have we dumped the bodies, by the way?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
let's just
yeah.
tip him overboard.
Yeah, just chuck him out.
Oh yeah, I just saw a vision of someone you just
Splash, splash,
yeah.
splash.
Yeah, we were just doing that along the way. Just like
Yeah,
breadcrumbs
they go
slowly
over.
drop dwarves over the
Wait,
side.
offer one to the
Get back on the
blood.
plane.
Right.
Oh yeah. Really.
It doesn't take it.
No, really.
I'll be alive.
Let it
Yeah,
crash.
I'll be alive, yeah.
What do you think Peg would make of this information?
Oh, she would be very interested to know. I will make sure she gets the information.
Don't worry, Chris, tell
I
her.
feel like you've just said something important in front of an enemy, but also potential ally, so I don't know how I feel about saying that. Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty conflicted. This is a fucking demon.
Yes, but it's a helpful demon now.
Yeah.
Which side do you want to be on? The
Self-helpful
demon side or the
I'm going to
undead
ask
side?
the demon, now that you know who your father is,
Yeah.
what is your next plan?
Oh, killing him.
And I'll,
Oh.
Well,
He knows my name. I cannot have him knowing my name.
would I take it that upon killing him you'll leave town, you have no reason to remain?
Oh yes.
Inside.
Go
He's
ahead,
in
make
his
an
own
insight
truth.
check.
He can't lie.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's inside his own
Yeah.
truth.
He can't lie.
Oh,
He
fair.
can't lie.
Cool. Okay, then yeah. Cool.
Yep.
That's good.
You don't need to insight right now. Everything he's saying is true.
Do we need to get the Cambions, if there are any, away from
do you know of
the
any...
forest that we're going to?
Are they
Because
just
they're
thoroughly in the
town, right?
city?
No, we can't tell none of the Hydras can know what's going on, so everything has to continue as normal until we've dealt with whatever's in the forest.
Is it possible?
Otherwise,
for
the Hydras all go into the forest and have to fight the guy that we can't beat.
is it possible for you to?
Why
Or
would the
did
guy that
the
we can't beat
Cambions
will go out to the
ignore
forest
us?
as well?
Yeah, if he knows where we are and what we're doing, 'cause you can find out. He knows this guy's true name, so we can just compel him to tell him what he told us.
Do you know of
But
any...
you can already do that right now.
Yeah, but he doesn't know we've got him. We take him back, just leave them. They keep doing what they're doing. Status quo carries on.
Why can't they just like tactically all go to the pub for like, I don't know,
Because that's
simultaneous
because
group?
something would
And that's a
change.
very stupid extreme example of what I'm suggesting. I hope you realise that.
because abnormal behaviour raises suspicion. So I assume he's he's someone clinging to power by arcane means. So I assume he's paranoid and mental as fuck.
Most
So-
dictators
Mm.
are.
I'm going to ask him, does he know of any informers or traitors high up in the other groups within the town? So, any in the blood,
I mean,
things,
if I was in charge of this town, that's how
or
I'd
the-
run things.
Kraken's daughters?
I
Yeah,
don't
paranoid,
I don't
something.
care.
Okay.
I'm only here for dead eyes.
Are you able to command the rest of the Cambions to not stand in our way?
Oh, I can do that. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, but if his father tells him to, he will have to get the Cambions to attack us, won't he?
His
Yes.
father is unaware of us.
Yes, and as long as we keep that going,
Yes.
then we
Yeah.
should be all right.
Well, I think the question is, will you?
I have no intention of telling.
It's
You-
in
you-
his
you
best
walk-
interest for us
Yes.
to help him.
Yes.
You walked up to the Victo residence when I was watching it multiple times. I had multiple opportunities to go and tell my father that you were investigating the missing people, which I already knew was something he wasn't interested or wasn't wanting people to do. I didn't. I was curious to see what you would do.
What specifically are the orders that he has given you, so that then we know how to work around them?
Me and my fellows are to travel the streets at night and collect people for delivery to the forest.
Is there a number that you must collect?
Not really.
Any that you can. Fair enough.
Just catch. Doesn't matter if we catch nothing for a few weeks, just as long as we keep on going. Also, to take the opportunity as well, actually, to collect from any individual who's selling strange wares in the city that might be of use. For example, you sold horses. They were collected for use.
Yes.
For use by the Hydras or for use by the thing in the forest?
The thing in the forest.
Then I take it the thing in the
They've
forest
got horses,
wants
wasn't
living
Yes.
items only and not
Yes.
magical tools or...
No.
Okay.
Yes, potentially a way for us to get to the forest is to be captured and sent there by, you know, but I think that's one, very slow, and two, we'd be stripped of all our gear, so it's not really optimal.
Better way to be to walk under the guise of being controlled.
No, better ways is to walk up to the front gate and walk up to the forest.
Yes, you can just do that.
We tell the Blood Bandits we're leaving because we hate this, because the only captain here would offer to take us into where we wanted to go was Mad Jack, and we ain't doing that shit. And then we storm out in a big huff, and then we just turn right and go and head to the forest.
So the question is now, do we continue with what we were planning, or do we go back to the town?
What we're planning.
We can
Well, we were going to the island, but
I mean, Shades fight. I don't think we should do Shades fight.
leaving, going on our cartography missions.
Saving
I
the
think
saving
saving
the
the
potential hostages or
yeah.
doing the island.
I mean, the hostages clearly.
They're not hostages though.
yes, I feel
Captives, whatever.
Well, they're still captives. Like
The victims before they're dead. Does that suit your syntax?
How long do the victims generally last?
he doesn't
We already said
know.
that.
I said generally, not specifically.
We have to get
It
there as
doesn't
fast as we
make
can.
sense.
I appreciate that whilst we could have, let's say, 5 days, which they are guaranteed to be dead, that the sooner we save people, the less dead people there are.
And also the sooner we're in
Yes,
Peg's,
but
even
we're
better
not
books.
Going to be able to. Whatever's
Even
in that,
if
whatever's
Rios
in the
is
forest is empowered Deadeyes. We have no chance against Deadeyes,
We're not going after Dead
We're
Eyes.
not
We're
going
going to
after
the forest.
Dead Eyes.
and that's the thing that empowered Deadeyes.
You can't beat a tree, so you cut away its roots.
He said that he got the power from the thing in the forest. So
Yes. Deadeye's made a deal with the things or thing in the forest. I have said if you travel into the forest, you may be able to strike your own deal.
Yeah, I don't like Mag.
I do not know. I have very little communication and contact.
I take it you don't know what deal was struck.
Oh, I know what deal was struck.
Ah,
So why won't you tell us that
so
bit?
what did
Because-
Deadeye offer?
Because I don't wish to tell you.
He
Thanks.
offered people.
It's just the reward we don't have.
power.
Well, yes, more specifically what?
Well, no. If we know what the offer was, then we can make a better offer.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
that's people is a pretty good assumption, seeing as they're being
So,
adopted from the town and sent
yes.
there, along with any other valuables such as horses.
Would you mind removing the ropes? I'd like to stretch my wings. It has been some time. I have no intention of leaving, or charming you, or attacking you. I'm
Yeah, I was
How
going
long-
to say that's
wait,
not
wait,
a charm in
how,
itself.
how long?
Has 10 minutes gone by?
Not quite yet.
I put the hammer down and get my longbow out.
Before that, what time of day do you normally release your captives?
As soon after as we caught them.
I use a tunnel. I don't have to.
Yes. Normally happens at night because that's when we capture them.
Yeah, we could probably intercept.
Oh, you're suggesting we camp out on the road and stop anyone going?
Mm-hmm.
Well, stop
Help
people
them.
going to the actual forest.
Yeah.
I think we should go to the forest.
Go
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
forest
do
and we
that.
break the deal, then no one else goes.
if we stop people going to the forest, then it's more apparent that something is wrong. But if we go to the forest and cut out the root of the problem, if you'll excuse the proverb, we can solve the situation without giving ourselves away.
Yes, go to the heart of the matter.
No, I think by whatever we do in the forest, we will give ourselves away, but it'll be too late for him to do anything.
But we'll be almost out
Well,
of
that's-
this,
yeah, that's the
this
important
sphere
part,
of
which I was
influence. We'll be
alluding
out of the
to.
city.
Concerning the 4 dwarves that are now overboard, will there be any trouble with them, yourselves, or us?
Oh no, you disposed of the bodies in the sea, then that's it.
No one cares?
No one can.
You weren't seen, and you didn't leave the bodies behind, so well done.
We may have made a couple of shots,
Okay.
happy.
About
We wrote a note.
untying the ropes,
Yes,
can
I
I
did.
I'll
please?
untie the rope, I guess.
Wonderful.
Lock and arrow.
Pa.
You watch him stretch out his wings and flap them.
Stretch out the rings.
Yeah.
Hey!
Very brutal with those. Oh, that's a bit sore.
But we didn't know you had them to begin with.
No, that's fair. It's a very good hat.
Yes, it was slightly concerning when you changed from being human to being red.
It
I
is a very
just burn his
fetching
hat.
fez.
Cool. He's like he puts his hat back on. Rests the fez between his horns. Much better.
What are your intentions if you run out of people that are not
Sure
important?
description.
It's a pirate town, there's always unimportant.
There's always someone unimportant rather. If nothing else, the lowest of the crew of the ships that come in and out of town, they know what town they're coming into.
Okay.
So, when we return to town, what are we doing to prepare to go to the forest?
One, sleeping.
Yeah, sleeping. And then
Not possibly.
Then,
I say we leave. Say we didn't want to take the journey with Jack.
Just go with Derek's plan from earlier.
Yes. We pretend that
what
we are
time we're going to the forest? Early, midday, late night?
First thing in the morning.
first thing. Yeah, straight away. We will travel up the road and then fork off outside of a view and go to the forest.
Yeah, we'll fork off, alright.
Not quite with a.
And then when we arrive at the forest, we're simply just going to poke around. I can maybe look for trails for people going in.
It's probably a bit too big to burn down. earlier.
I think that would be quite obvious. But yes, I think maybe.
When did we suggest burning down forests, people? We've already done that
Just now.
once before.
Just right then.
We've done enough forest burning.
When did we burn the forest before?
Spiders.
Oh, that was the cobweb, that wasn't the forest.
There was some forest on fire there as well.
How the dwarves spread it out? Probably.
I'm pretty sure.
Some say they're still battling that forest fire.
That's the point. I'm gonna. Now we've talked about spiders. I'm gonna open my journal to the page where I've drawn the symbol that was on the spiders, the skull,
Yeah.
with the twiddly bit above it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show it to Dorn.
Cool.
Do you know what this is?
Looks like a skull.
Okay. It's a shame.
He's still in the ring, isn't he?
No,
Pretty-
you might wander around.
Yeah, he's not wandering around. He's walked around a little bit, stretched his legs, but he's stayed. He's aware that he's under.
He's aware of the
influence.
purpose
Yeah.
of the.
Yeah, so he's stayed relatively close to the mast as he's walked around. Just sort of got the idea that he's in the middle of it. So if he stays here, you guys will be happy.
Beat him. Yes.
It's a lot of effort to go to hell and back again.
Yeah,
So someone's
it
going to
really
notice.
is.
Do we have any further
I'm going
questions?
to ask him something completely different to any of this, and ask him about the poison that I've been looking into, and if he's heard of something similar to it before. Just something completely different, because
Okay,
Poison?
ask the question because what words you choose is going to be important, not only for him but also for the fact that you're saying this in front of the rest of the party.
yeah.
So we'll have to choose these words.
The thing is, I haven't got my actual notebook, and that has more of the details in it.
That's why you keep your notes with you.
Yeah.
Or you've got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Come on now.
We're all completely
I'm
trustworthy.
actually trying to remember the exact thing you said now.
We've all shared secrets.
I'm
I'm not a
investigating
spy.
a poison
What?
that these black veins upon the person leaves them in a coma and is not able to be healed by magic.
He's not a doctor.
He may have heard of something on his plane.
I'm
This
pretty
is
sure
like
they
no-
just
This is like no
stabbed
poison
people.
I've ever seen before.
Strange. Why are you asking? You don't look like the kind of person who would poison people.
One of my friends has been poisoned at home.
Okay, make a check for me.
What check?
You know what check?
Not very high.
What'd you get?
12.
Okay, cool. He smiles. Fair enough. I'm not a specialist in poisons. You have some nasty poisons on your own plane, but that does not sound like one from this plane. Not something I know, but doesn't sound nice.
No.
Resistant to magic. That is a potent poison.
Yes.
It's probably come from one of the lower planes.
I had hoped it would. I had hoped you might have heard something. That was all. Since I assumed it wasn't. I'd assumed something that powerful might have been known if it was.
Poison isn't often used against devils and demons.
Devils and demons might use poison against others, though. That's my thoughts.
Possibly. I am not a poisoner.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Oh yes.
Oh, I don't know. Some might argue your words are poison.
Fair point. Fair point. At this moment in time, I'm not a poisoner.
No, thankfully we've got the antidote to your kind of poison.
It wasn't necessary. I was intending to tell you the same information, regardless.
Well, precautions are always worth taking.
Oh yes, it's only raised you in my esteem.
Good.
Again,
the bar
I feel
very high.
conflicted.
Shall we ask Jack to return back to town?
So there are 50 Cambion within the town right now.
Not necessarily right now.
Well, one of them definitely isn't.
There are 50 Cambion that work for me. They will not be all in the town right now. If 50 people went missing in one night,
No.
it would be a bit.
Do you have
Disturbing.
has disguise then?
Oh no, the others use their innate abilities.
Okay.
They hide themselves in alleyways and dark streets until they see a potential victim, and then they use their ability to change their form. Then they charm them. They walk off, and when the change in form wears off, the charmee doesn't care.
Have any of you been captured before then?
Oh no.
So even though you look like that, or your other guys, they look like that, you've not had anyone spotted in your true form?
Not that I know of. I guess if they have, they've been dealt with.
Okay. Anyone else think of any other questions?
No, he's been unusually helpful. I suppose are you going to return with us on the boat on the disguise, or just gate back to the town?
I can only do that once a day. So I'm
I
going
would
to go
say
back onto
one
Disguise.
moment, get everyone to go away, and I'm gonna so we're out of his listening range if we can, and ask if we should ask about the Feywild, since it's unlike to see if he knows anything about the other planes because we've got no information on it.
I suppose
No,
we
he's
probably
from hell. He's not going to know shit about anywhere else.
If he plane shifts, he might.
We played just
To
ahead.
home and then here.
Not
I mean,
just
he may
can
know
go to
about the
anywhere.
Feywild, but why
No.
would we want to tip him off
He has
if we're
to
investigating it?
And also,
Like-
he's giving us information that provides us with a common goal. Feywild does not provide us information, it provides him with the end result he is after. It doesn't bring about the death of his father.
True. I was just wondering if we should ask him about it, just because of the.
No, I see, but I don't think he'll tell us even if he knew.
Okay.
I don't think he knows.
I don't think he should know.
Probably doesn't even care.
For good reasons why we should not ask him. It was a thought.
To town then?
Yeah, so we say, going back. So to ask Jack if he has any other questions or.
Oh no, it was plenty of information just from listening.
Okay.
Just shame that I can't go with you. I'd like to see what's in the forest. Do come back and tell me.
No, we will most
Don't
If
worry,
we
we'll
survive-
make drawings.
Well, I'm sure you'll survive. You're capable people. I would
We don't-
recommend not
Forest.
fighting. Just talk. Words are always a stronger thing to use.
Please don't say that in front of them. Make it upset.
Confuses him.
Oh, Dorn. By the way, I may have written on the wall in blood that the blood bandits were the ones who attacked you. So if you could keep that going, you may want to say, oh, I don't know what happened. I was just knocked straight out unconscious, or you can say, oh yeah, definitely blood bandits.
Oh, I would just.
Up to you.
I will just tell my father that his men proved disloyal, and I dealt with that.
Whatever keeps up the ruse.
So I should probably clean the wall off then.
I will clean the wall. It's not a problem.
Okay.
It's where I intend to go back to there at a particular point anyway. I said I was going to stake out, so I will continue to stake out.
Yes. Is there anything that we need to say or do with the Littlefoot?
Big toes.
Big toes.
Close.
I knew
So
what. I
close.
knew something like that. I was like,
Close.
I can't quite.
Something size foot.
Yeah.
Sized appendage.
I may have forgotten already. Big toe.
Big toe.
Yes,
Little faces.
do we need to say
Small
anything
socks.
to the Big Toe residents?
No, they're fine.
Yep, I would recommend not, because if they start investigating again, they won't come to me, they'll go to someone else.
So keep them in fear.
Yes.
Maybe don't beat the wife quite so badly next time.
I didn't hit
You
the
didn't beat
wife.
the
It
wife.
was the
Oh yeah,
Only
it's
the
the
husband.
Alright. Well, not so badly next time.
Or I have a...
He has to do what he's ordered to.
It was unfortunately rather effective at what it was meant to be doing. I suspect they won't be asking any further questions.
No.
No.
No,
Took
they
a lot
won't.
of effort just to get in the door.
Which... Was that you getting through the door? I thought it was. I wasn't entirely sure.
That was a good disguise,
It was
wasn't
a
it?
very good disguise.
Thank you.
It's a shame Ozamin was a little... concerned.
You broke his arm and
Well,
beat the
well,
hell out
yes.
of him.
I know.
Sorry, pardon the allusion to help.
Anything else I can help you with, or can I just stretch my wings, go for a little bit of a fly as you head back to town?
No, I feel we have exhausted the lines of inquiry we currently hold.
Wonderful.
So you were fighting devils in Avernus? Or
I
you were
was-
fighting for the devils?
I was fighting for the devils.
Oh.
I was fighting
Fighting demons.
Yes.
It's very confusing. Okay.
That's where I ended up. It's what I got trained to do. It's what I did.
Evil does not always follow logic.
Depends on what you define as logic.
Okay, so I suppose we're travelling back then.
Cool. Dorn flaps his wings a couple times and then takes off and just starts like circling the ship.
I'm going to say, shall we rest on the ship for tonight and then just leave tomorrow morning?
How long does it take to get back to
An
town
hour.
from where we are? An hour.
An hour. Yeah, he went. Jack literally took you an hour out.
Yeah.
Dropped anchor.
Yeah.
You guys have just been sitting there, so you've got an hour to go back.
Do we still have rooms for the night?
Just buy new ones. Buy new ones.
Well, no. If we've already got rooms, then we might as well go back and use them. But if not, yes. If Jack's okay, just bunk down here. It makes sense.
I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, no, it doesn't, because then we'll be seen leaving the ship. Yes, we need to leave.
Does the greasy flute have rooms?
No.
no, that told you to go to Asmodeus Temptation. It is also by the time you get back, it's going to be about 4:30 in the morning. The door's probably going to be locked because it's an inn, it's a tavern.
Sleep on the ship and leave?
We can't sleep on the ship. The
No.
the ruse is based on us not wanting to use Jack's services.
Yeah, so we sail back in and we storm out of town because we're so fucked off with Jack. That's
Yep. Okay, that works
that's
actually.
that's
Should we just ask her to park the ship here for the next
Do we
7
not
hours?
want to rest in
instead?
town? Sorry, why not use a different inn, or is Jack's the only inn in town?
There are other inns. You're going to find the same problem with all of them because it's 4:30 in the morning. The owners are going to be in sleep. Asleep
Yeah.
themselves.
They're in sleep mode. It's all androids.
They're all in sleep mode.
Power down.
It's the only way they can always be there when you're coming downstairs and they're there before you after going to bed so much later and still getting their 8 hours.
Just leave town then.
Yeah,
camp
we rest
outside.
a short way out of town.
Let's rest.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So you
I'll take first watch.
Cool. So you're going back to town, making your way through. At some point, on the way back, Dorn reattunes to his hat and turns back into the human you saw before. Did you guys pick up his spear?
Wait,
No. Cool.
did he actually mention a spear at any point?
Oh, yeah,
No,
I
no,
wasn't
he
here,
was.
so I
He
don't
had
know.
a spear when he was fighting you.
Yeah, I
You just
mean,
never
I didn't.
use it.
I picked him
I
up.
find it hard to
So-
believe that this party would have ever left anything unattended, if not
I feel like we
bolted
would have
firmly
picked the
down.
spear up just so we
Yeah.
didn't have evidence lying around.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. No, that's fair. Cool. So he will say, "Do you have my spear? I would very much like
When
it
we
back."
say yes and give him back his spear.
Cool.
And full Mary Poppins
Wonderful.
in the spear out of the bag.
Yeah, just throw it back to him.
Wonderful. Well, good luck. He wanders off into the darkness.
I think that was probably honest as well.
You guys make your way across town to the gate.
Yeah.
There are guards there. The gate is shut, but they don't care that you're leaving.
So you just walk out of the
They literally, you make your way over, and they're like, okay.
So do we long rest? No.
Not
No, we're
wait,
leaving
you
in
make,
long
make your
rest.
way out of town.
Alright.
The guards just open the gate. You guys leave. Where are you going? Where are you going from outside the gate?
You said a forest to the north.
Forest is to the north, which is to your left.
So
You guys came from the east, which is directly in front of you.
We
Well,
head
let's
we,
go
we head
east.
east or outside the gate.
yeah, exactly that.
Cool. So you make your way east until the gate is. It won't take you long to get out of visual range of the gate because it is night and there is no moon.
And
Oh.
close gate.
Yeah, so you just essentially wander off into darkness, get a little bit out of sound range, and then make your way north towards the Shroud of Necrosis. Settle down for sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So watches. Derek's doing first watch. Anyone else doing first watch?
Sure.
Cool. Are both elves sleeping right now?
Do we want to pass
I
on?
am going to, straight
Someone
on.
has goggles, right?
Yes,
I'm positive.
I will.
You're
I
sleeping.
will be sleeping now, yes.
Cool. So both of you are sleeping. Cool. Do you two want to make perception checks for me for the first 2 hours of the long rest?
Is it disadvantage?
It would, because yes, you're not disadvantaged because you don't care. But yes, disadvantage because dim light,
Sweet.
because that's how that works.
Oh, Single digits. 8.
Single digit.
22.
22. Cool.
The eagle has landed.
Nice.
Looking around and paying
Apple.
attention, nothing comes close to your camp, but you do. You sort of vaguely hear off in the distance the sounds of.
A big thing in the woods munching on little halflings.
No.
Shuffling feet.
Yeah, you hear the sounds of a couple of people sort of walking opposites. You hear someone walking up to the north of the city and then walking back. You can't see anything, you just very faintly hear those sounds.
Do you hear that?
What?
I can't see it, but there's something in that direction.
What am I listening for?
It's just movement.
Sounds
Nope.
of car.
Yeah, I'm gonna move a little, like
I mean,
20. I'm gonna move 20 feet towards it and see if they come into my eyesight.
It is quite far away.
Okay.
It's essentially you can work out you're hearing the sounds of a Cambion delivering another person.
Yeah. I think they're making another delivery.
Cambion couriers.
Do we want to stop it?
I want to, but we can't. If that makes sense.
Alright, I'll take your word.
Thank you for trusting me, Thorndrick.
Cool. Otherwise, your watch is uneventful. Who is taking second watch?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Because by the time you've got back,
Humming.
talk about thing. Oh yes, you guys have sort of settled down to long rest at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So now it's 7.
Take time.
Oh, I don't need goggles
I'm
because
not gonna need to go.
when's sunrise?
Sun is rising.
Oh, I'll keep it just.
So yeah, so you guys just have straight rolls now.
What's the weather doing?
Oh, what?
Drizzling.
Fucking
What's the wind like?
Derek.
Light breeze.
I Derricked it.
Yes.
3,
11.
11. Awesome.
Oh,
You guys are looking around. You are fairly tired at this point. You have been up for a very long time. You know, you've been up for close to 24 hours. You are feeling the effects of the day. So you're looking around. Fortunately, it's not. You're reaching the point where, because you're mostly on open plains and whatnot, you're not really. No one's going to sneak up on you that well. But you don't notice anyone either. Third watch.
Sure.
The elves are awake.
Yeah, the elves are awake. The elves just wake up.
So we have 3 people on each watch this time, so rather than
That's up to you guys.
a
Okay.
4 and a 2.
Fine.
Yeah, I'll join in.
Alright,
4,
so
4, 2.
you stay
That's
asleep
all.
for this one, and then you do the last watch.
Great.
Cool. So, yep. 2 elves, Shamshir, make perception checks as you look around.
17.
17,
14.
14.
And to wrap it up, we also have a 23.
23. Cool.
Just showing off now.
So, you guys, again, it's, the sun has fully risen at this point. You will notice some people start going past you or heading into the town. There are people heading out of town. But there's no one who's like coming to where you are. No one's coming over to bother you or annoy you.
I spend time cooking breakfast.
Okay,
At the end of that watch, start this one.
cool.
It's breakfast time.
And then for the final 2 hours, Ikos is awake. At this
Yeah.
point, it's, you start your watch
It's
at
11, isn't it?
11 in the morning. You don't need to roll perception. No one can sneak up on you. It's it's bright light.
Lovely.
There's nowhere for people to hide.
I cook other people breakfast.
Yeah, cool. Those 2 hours passed, and then you are all awake, and there is food for you to eat, praying to be done, and you can make your way towards the Shroud of Necrosis.
I should do a long rest actually.
But it is now 11 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, no. After those,
1 o'clock.
yeah, it's 1 o'clock. After those 2 hours.
So we head
You have
towards
got
the
up.
Shroud of Death.
So, at the point you are, you walked out far enough that you weren't within audio range of the gate, but if you are going to be seen if you start wandering around up towards the forest.
Can we move further eastwards and not be seen?
At some point, you have to go back towards the town.
Oh, wait, so the only route north?
It's to the north of the town. It's directly next to the town. So at some point, when you come back to the forest, you're getting closer to the town.
So it's 1 o'clock, and I assume the reason we're still here is
We're going to
we
walk
don't
to
want
the
to be
top of the
seen
forest
going
and
to the
going.
forest, right?
Oh, you could, yeah. If you
Why
wanted
don't
to,
we
you
just
can
wait
go.
until it becomes dark?
Yeah, if you want to go to the other side of the forest, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
We're going to walk the whole way around the backside of the
No,
forest.
just enough to get out of view of the town when we enter.
Fair enough.
Which I imagine is only about an hour longer.
Possibly.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, it's going to be mighty hard to find tracks of the people being abducted if you go around the opposite side to where they're going from. But
Oh, we should
If-
wait
as
here
soon-
all
as
day
soon-
then?
As soon as the Hydras know what we're doing, we're
So
on
so why don't we just
ticking
wait
clock.
until it's dark? Again,
Sounds
it's dark.
too long.
And
Rios is
Studying tracks in
over
the dark
for
is
3
easier?
days.
Yeah, but if 5 hours is what makes a difference, then I'm afraid he's kind of tucked either way.
What time sunset?
Varies from day to day.
Roughly. What
this
day
time
was
of
it
year.
Somewhere it's somewhere between like 7 and 9 o'clock. Recently, it's been closer to 8 o'clock than anything.
Well, let's put it to a vote. Who wants to just go speed and go into forest straight now, and who wants to go? Who wants to stealth? Speed. Stealth.
Does speed risk exposing our ploy?
If
I
the-
believe so.
If
but-
the guards or anyone else sees us, then
No. Well, we can't.
They're going to see us out here in the open. They're not going to see us in the forest. So how about we just get into cover straight away?
you still have to walk in front of the entrance to the town.
Well, the forest doesn't wrap all the way around. Sometimes, for the greater good, there are losses.
The people manning the walls are the blood bandits.
Oh, it's not the Hydras there.
The Hydras are just in charge of the town. They run around the town.
But
They
the
might
blood
go on
bandits-
the walls. You don't know.
They might also be drunk.
Why don't, let's just walk further away from the town, walk up towards the forest, walk back towards the forest, and then loop around to the front half where people will be walking in. Which is still like a massive timeout, but let's just do that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gonna
better
be
time
like-
out than
why
just
it'd be
waiting
like-
until.
3 hours less than just waiting until it's dark or something, who knows.
Yeah.
Plus, we'd have some sites actually do the tracking.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier to track in the day.
Yeah.
So walk. So go loop really far and
We
round,
understand the
then
idea,
back round the edge of the forest.
We try and stay hidden from the walls.
Yeah. So you make your way,
Whatever route that looks like.
you make your way slightly further out east, and then make your way north. Which I mean, you could even just head just straight northeast. That doesn't really matter.
I mean, I can look when no one's looking this way.
Yeah, that's it. You can keep an eye on the walls. I mean, when you're at the point where it's like, they can't really see us, we can't really see them, we just make our way over. Unless someone has specifically watched you the whole way across.
In which case we're fucked anyway. So
Yeah.
No, I mean, I could stand there, and if they can see us entering the forest, then I can see them a lot clearer, and I can be like, they're not facing us right now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's cool.
I don't
So
know.
you can, I just wanted to let you know that if you head into the forest, you might get seen. You don't know who you're going to get seen by and what it will mean. But cool. So you make your way to the eaves of the forest on its eastern side. Again, this forest is old and gnarly, and think Fangorn Forest, Lord of the Rings. It is.
Primeval.
Yeah, it is old. As you guys got closer, you do notice that the wood, the trunks of all of the trees are black.
From decay or just. That's
Do you want to
tree.
go find out? That's just as you get closer.
Yeah, go lick it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna scratch it and see if it was charred.
It is not charred. As you sort of scratch, bits of it come off in your hand, and there is a very strong smell of decay and rot.
Oh,
Oh, Pa's got tree cooties. Oh.
So it's literally just a fungus or mold, whatever, killing off or sitting on the tree roots.
Shroud of Necrosis.
Are there leaves still on the trees?
There are leaves. Yeah, there are leaves.
Do you
Although
want-
looking closer, they're probably not leaves from the trees. It's whatever is growing inside the trees and is killing the trees has produced its own,
So the trees are host to some other parasite.
essentially.
Do you wanna scrape some of the black off? See if it's got anything to do with your thing.
Yes.
Sure. You scrape some of the black off.
Into a vial or something.
Yep, that's cool.
What should I call that?
Put vial of Shroud of
black tree.
Necrosis tree.
Basically, whatever you can remind you of what it was.
Yeah.
Can I look around for tracks heading deeper into the forest from dazed looking and or charmed people, or just people wandering into the forest?
Cool. Are you guys moving around to the southern side of the forest, just following the edge of the forest, or are you stepping into the trees and using the cover of the trees?
I assumed that.
cover.
Yeah, let's just work out in the open. Let's do that.
That's good.
We walked all the way around to make sure that
Yeah,
we're
I just
seeing it.
wanted, I just wanted to
Yeah.
check.
We're going to hold a big sign up saying, we're over here,
Yes,
come find
Liam,
us.
you're rolling on the forest encounter table, not on the plain Kraken encounter table. For purposes of this journey. Yes.
That's fine. Cool. So you guys make your way through the forest to the southern side. The trees, even just looking in further, the trees all look the same. They are all this weird, black, rotting
Are there any other plants?
bark. No. You get to the southern side. Shamshir, you can go ahead and make a survival check
Can I
as you
help
look
him?
around.
Yeah.
You can, yes,
Never
you can-
mind. Doesn't need it.
Oh, does he not?
Is there any other sort of
You can-
signs
is it 20?
of signs of life?
Nice.
not
Like
that you can
bird
hear.
songs or.
Make a perception check.
That's a Shamshir. So that's 6.
I've been charging for 3 weeks.
You don't,
This
you
is what
don't
I'm here
hear
for.
anything specifically. I mean, there are sounds, but you can't quite pick out what sounds there are.
Well, at least it's not completely silent like the.
Oh yeah, it's
previous
not. It's not like completely dead silent. That was a 20.
It's a natural 20 for 26.
26. Yeah, you find tracks. It's not difficult to find. There are bunches of tracks. It has been drizzling a lot recently. The ground is moist. There are very moist, succulent.
The ground is succulent.
There are very easy tracks to follow. What you do notice is
Trees.
the most recent set are from trees. From about by this time after you've taken the thing 8 plus about 12 hours or so ago. By the time you've got around the thing, so roughly when Thorndrake and Derek were on watch, you can see a fresh pair of footprints, 2 pairs of footprints that head to the edge of the forest. Then one set turns around and goes back to the town, and one set continues in.
Do they? Does the
Tell people about that. Oh shit.
does the second pair enter the forest at all, or does it
No,
just stop at
just
the
stops
edge?
at the edge.
I'm actually just looking at the Cambion anyway. Did they have?
For 2 hours.
Do
you were
they have
drinking tea?
human feet? Or is it
He
clothing?
had shoes on.
Oh right, okay. So we didn't know.
You didn't know.
Okay,
There's
Yeah.
some tracks.
I was just wondering. Yeah.
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 I'll be like,
Okay.
hold on, I found some tracks. They're quite recent. Somebody must have just gone through here. Why? Just last night.
Yeah, I heard them. Oh yeah, I didn't mention. Sounded like someone bringing them here.
It was to be expected.
Well, I suppose we're here to rescue them now anyway.
So by not interrupting them, we now have a fresh trail.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was my thinking.
There was nothing else. There was nothing else we could do at the time.
If you feel free to make it if you want to.
I'm
I
assuming
want to
that
say
was
the-
in character. Don't bother inciting.
The
Look at his face.
eye moving.
Yeah.
This is the passive insight. It's just like
Don't
no,
need
he's
to incite.
bullshitting that big time.
Look at the face.
That was good initiative of you, Throndrake. Well done.
You baited the trap.
So you start following the footprints into the forest. As you get further in, the leaf coverage overhead gets thicker and thicker. To the point of you're no longer walking through light. It is the same as being at night.
Okay, I'm gonna look around and make sure, or see if anything's there, like trying to jump out, or while we're going through,
Mhm.
you know.
I wanted to look for invisible spiders again because I hate those fucking things.
That's fair. Sure. Go ahead and make perception checks as you look around
Mine's
the
going to
thing.
be here and see if I hear anything moving nearby.
Do you want to make a perception check?
Yeah, I'm looking at it as well.
There's no good me doing perception checks.
20.
22 from invisible
Disadvantage.
spiders.
22 for invisible spiders. There are no invisible spiders. You do, however, see a whole bunch of cobwebs sort of just through the treetops and around you. Not over the part you are currently walking through. Interesting enough. And then when you spot them in the tree tops,
Tree trunk.
yeah, and then sort of look further into the forest at either side of you, you can see there are sections of the forest that are filled with spider webs. Very, very large, thick spider webs, but none against the sections you are currently walking through.
Guys, spiderwebs. Spiderwebs.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What was your role? What were you looking for?
things trying to ambush us, like just things in the dark.
Cool.
But I got 6.
Cool. You're fine. Everything's fine.
14 for structures or ruins. Or,
Structures and ruins. Cool. You don't see any structures or ruins.
I had
Yeah.
20 for listening out to see if I can hear anything moving nearby or breathing, or any sounds nearby other than us.
So you do hear sounds. You hear things sort of moving through the forest. You haven't encountered giant spiders, even a variation thereof. You do hear the sounds of giant spiders moving through the forest that you can't see. You are aware that you're passing relatively close to them, and especially once Derek points out the spider webs. But it's interesting they're not coming to attack you. And you see Shamshir sees no signs of spiders attacking anything on this route. You are also able to hear the sounds of crows in the background. Just steadily getting louder. Cool.
Carrion call.
Hmm?
Carrion call.
As you make your way further into the forest, and it is completely pitch black at this point, the trees start getting bigger and taller until you are looking at trees that are, standing 30, 40 feet tall or so, all still covered in this weird black rot.
Can I make an Arcana check to make sure the trees are getting bigger and I'm not getting smaller?
Go for it.
Okay. 18.
18. The trees are getting bigger. You are not getting smaller.
Thank fuck.
You can't lose much.
Ooh.
He's a halfling. They're you're 2 foot tall.
Sizest.
2 foot tall. I don't know how tall that
I'm
is
less
as
than
well.
3. Yeah, less than 3.
You guys carry on forward,
You're big inside though.
and then you see in the front of you the trees start to
Big
thin
personality.
out a bit. Not very far in front of you because you can only see about 60 feet. 60 feet, those of you who can see in the dark. There seems to be a clearing. The clearing itself is still pitch black. There may be no trees through it, but there still seems to be this strange leafy coverage. The sound of the crows is something you can all hear. It's very loud, cawing sound. And as you sort of step to the edge of the clearing to see what is in there, you see a very large. It's yeah.
Spider.
You see a large, 30-foot tall, so three-story-ish, gothic manor house with crows circling around.
Sam's on the retreat.
Circling around the rooftops. In the center, there's a very large tower, which is mostly where the crows are focused. And standing in the courtyard, as it were, is a very young-looking female human who looks out at you and says, welcome, guests. Welcome. You've arrived roughly when we expected you.
Chris, you recovered. You like to fuck the vampire lady.
On it.
The masters are sleeping currently, but you are welcome to come
Masters?
inside. The masters, yes.
Bollocks, okay.
You are welcome
Don't
to
worry,
come
I don't think
inside.
we'll meet up with us.
We can provide you with some food, and you can rest for the rest of the night as we wait for them to wake. The rest of the day, sorry, for them to wake up.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything off about her?
She's very pale.
Standing
then-
at by Gothic Castle in a something really
She
off.
knew you were coming.
In a
she's waiting
clearing
for
with no
you.
sunlight.
You knew what I was asking. Does she look like she's made of porcelain? Does she have some holes in her neck? Or are her eyes black
Oh,
and
do you want to
pins?
use divine sense?
No. I'm a go. She looks like a fucking vampire spawn.
I should be tracking fiends right now.
Out of
The
interest,
list of things that are off is way longer than the list of things that are on.
Yeah.
There might be some
who
fiends.
informed you that we were
Alright.
fine?
Oh,
Right,
wait,
upside down.
Can I
We've
yeah,
encountered
I
a
do
woman.
understand.
Excellent.
I can't spell woman.
I
You
put
know
I
woman.
put W-O-W.
What?
W-O-M.
Woman is no.
Woman.
New monster.
We know when someone has entered our forest. The moment they cross the boundary, we are aware.
Okay.
How many's we?
God, that'd be really annoying if someone's like, in the forest, out the forest, in the forest, out the forest.
It's like a doorbell that does not stop.
How many's
On the
we?
forest soil.
Well,
You left
of
foot in,
of
you put
people
your left
like
foot
me, there is
And what are you?
the staff. I'm staff. I am the
Oh, staff.
no.
Hello, Dad.
I am the housekeeper during the day when the masters are sleeping. There's me, and there are 30 other staff who help just to maintain things, prepare the meals, things like that.
Yeah, but what are you?
You look kind of ill. You look pale.
Fucking hell.
I am
Tactful.
a.
Very tactful.
I am
I'm sorry, a
human.
half Eagle Boy and half Kit Kat asking what the fuck she is.
Yeah.
Pot kettle black. Jesus fuck.
No, it's just she looks ill.
So,
I'm human. I would look ill. I don't really see the sun very much. It's very dark down here.
That's fair. You know, now that you've said it, I'm actually quite hungry. What kind of meals do you have?
We have meat. I
We
can
have
get you
human.
wine. I do have bread. Meat and bread and wine.
So simple stuff.
Mostly.
Just as long as it's not human.
Do by
Are
me.
you, are you guys?
Oh, what kind of meat?
Horse
For
meat.
their stomachs, don't they?
Oh, so that's funny.
Yes, of course, it would be.
Excuse me. I have an important question.
Yes.
The people who come here, who are sent here, who arrive into the forest, who are sent
Yes.
to by the town.
Yes.
What happens to them? Are they alive or are they dead?
Some of them are alive. Some of them
Okay.
are dead, and some of them are neither.
Do you know
Do we
when
go now?
abouts your masters will wake up?
Some of us don't.
Ooh, another few hours when the sun sets.
Are there any manners that we should obey whilst we're speaking to your masters in their house?
Be polite.
Don't stab them with wooden stakes through the heart.
Use the term kindred.
Well, we've got some garlic in there.
What happens if we wake them up?
They would be very angry, and then whichever one you woke up would visit
your
their
face off.
wrath upon you. I would strongly recommend you don't wake them up.
Derek, do not use buckets of water here.
Now, I wouldn't wish to offend my host, and I hope my position wouldn't cause offence.
Oh no, you are fine.
Good.
So, would you like to come in?
No.
Fair enough.
So we can just walk in. We don't have to be invited.
I can have food sent out to you if you prefer. You can wait out here. I do not mind.
Let's just go into the house and be polite.
Yeah,
Are the
honestly,
crows
it's
slightly
like
less
intrigued.
deafening inside?
Oh yes, yes. You can't hear them quite as much.
Maybe we might gain some insight as to what's happening
Okay.
with people being
Yes,
abducted.
So
I think when one is offered entry to a house, one should probably
we
accept.
enter the house.
I can promise you that, provided you do not offend your host, you will come to no harm.
Okay.
The dwarves need to keep very quiet.
Alright, so we enter,
That's your forte.
so yeah, we enter the manor, I guess.
So everyone enter.
Can we throw a drink?
Reluctantly.
After all of us have
Yeah.
gone.
After everyone else has gone in, you don't want to be
Okay.
left outside on your own.
Yeah,
And
let's be
now
like-
we begin betrayal in the house in the forest.
Cool. As you guys enter the forest, we are going to end the session. Forest, the manor house we are going to end the session there. And pick up next week as you discuss with the masters.
It's not
Awesome.
that funny.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. This was a long episode because I didn't feel like there was a good point to stop. It just sort of kept going. So apologies for the longer episode, but hopefully you enjoy it the same. Please go check out our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Check out our stream, twitch.tv/FURN Gaming, and our podcast, the FURNcast, done monthly. You can find it on Podbean and iTunes, and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/FURN Gaming. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you in the next video, and goodbye.